I've ever had a smoothie.
I love smoothies.
Which kind?
Yeah, we've had
Like-
smoothies.
I don't know. I just keep thinking about smoothies, and my contact's gonna fall out of my
Peach
eye.
mango smoothie.
I mean,
Sure.
we can go get a smoothie after this.
Cherry
We
Coke.
can go to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Oh, cherry Coke is
Okay, I'm
good.
gonna have to fix this again.
And he's gone again, ladies and gentlemen.
Kyle's contact fell out of his eye.
2 seconds.
Oh boy. Well,
No. I'm sorry. I'm playing a flash game on my phone.
Damn you!
Welcome back to shit. Brayton, why are you here?
I don't have anywhere to be till 6.
But you don't know anything about Star Wars.
But I watched the trailer
I mean, okay, but why? Have you
because
even?
it looks good.
A baby can read.
Hold on, Kyle. What did you say?
Like saying a baby can read.
Like saying a baby can read. The wise words of Mr. Kyle.
Okay, so here's the thing about the Star Wars episode.
Oh, are we doing this? I'm Brandon.
I'm Brayton.
I'm Nick.
I'm Kyle.
Bryson isn't here. He's off grocery
We
shopping,
lost
I
Bryson
think.
in the war.
Yeah, he got hit by that fucking TIE fighter in the trailer. Anyways.
Oh shit. Topical.
Yeah, speaking of, why didn't he just, shoot her?
Unpopular opinion, it's General Hux in the TIE fighter.
Oh, I think that's a pretty accurate.
I think it's accurate, but most of what I've seen is a lot of people are just automatically assuming it's Kylo Ren.
Well, I don't think it would be because they
I don't
don't
think
show
so
him.
either.
Or it could be someone else. What if it's Finn?
Yeah, I was about to say, what if it's Finn?
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like maybe if it's a training thing.
Maybe.
That'd be
That would be weird.
yeah.
That would be really fucking weird, Star Wars. George Lucas.
That'd be really fucking weird.
What you got up your
So-
asshole for this one?
Alright, so first of all, if you've been living under a rock, or if you're like Brayton and you just don't like fun things, or you're a regular person who just doesn't like Star Wars, that's fine too. Fuck you, Brayton. So, there was a trailer that dropped for Star Wars Episode 9
On Friday.
on Friday.
Yeah.
And,
During Star Wars
yeah.
Celebration. I watched it live.
what was it called, Kyle?
That Episode 9?
Yeah.
So, if you remember back to a couple podcasts ago, I said that Star Wars Episode 9 would be called Star Wars Episode 9, The Chosen One.
Which is close.
It was close. It was a lot
close.
closer than I thought it would actually be. It's Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, which Skywalker is the chosen one in air quotes.
Yeah.
So, The Rise of the Chosen One. So, you were pretty close. So, George Lucas, where's our fucking money? Because you stole our idea.
I really.
I really think
George,
you probably had
look, of the 10 people that watch us, are you sure George Lucas
Also,
isn't one of them?
Kevin
you should
Feige also owes us
explain-
money for Nick's
We
guest.
should explain the format of what we're doing. So, on top of our now normal podcast, we're going to do mini casts.
Yeah.
And this is the first one of those.
So this is like let's call it an emergency podcast where some big shit happened and we weren't ready for it.
Mhm.
And so we're just like, well, fuck, now we need to get a podcast together so
Which
we
has
can do
been
this
like
shit.
every single actual podcast.
Every single regular podcast, but the regular podcasts are bigger. They're about an hour long or so, whereas
Yeah.
this one's aimed to be a little more 20
15,
minutes.
20 minutes. Listen
Yeah.
to it on your drive
Hopefully.
into work.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, let's not ramble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
So to start off, if we're just going off the trailer, something that's really interesting as far as the title's concerned is Episode 3's name was Revenge of the Sith. Episode 6's name was
Return of the Jedi. And this
Episode
one,
9's name is
The Rise of Skywalker.
So hypothetically, going off of a possibility of a balance to the Force in Grey Jedi, do we think that the Jedi and the Sith could go away for the Skywalkers? And they be renamed Skywalkers.
Oh, so you're saying
Instead of
instead
this-
of Jedi,
yeah.
it's called the
The
Skywalker.
Skywalkers.
oh,
This
that's
is a theory I've heard thrown around by a lot of people on the internet.
It's interesting that you bring that up because it because I had a theory. I think I maybe talked to
Maybe.
you about this. But it's basically that the chosen one,
Mhm.
we were thought was supposed to be a Skywalker.
Mhm.
So we got Anakin and then Luke.
Mhm.
And anyone can believe what they want. But what if Skywalker wasn't the chosen one
Mhm.
isn't a name, it's a title.
Yeah.
So if you are the chosen one, you are the Skywalker.
Interesting.
Going a little back to your theory, which kind of ties into yours. You you mentioned the idea of like Skywalker becoming a title for the Grey Jedi.
Mhm.
And as I seem to recall, didn't they say like the Grey Jedi themselves are canon, but they don't go by Grey Jedi anymore? There's like a new title for them.
I'm not certain.
I swear I heard that
that.
somewhere.
There's definitely is.
I personally think that just calling them the Grey Jedi would be weird because they're
Yeah.
supposed to be the balance of the two,
Right.
And to me, that wouldn't make sense to label them because then couldn't you also call them Grey Sith?
Yeah.
The Grey Force users.
Mm-hmm. To call them Skywalkers, I mean, if you want a
Skywalkers.
final homage to everything
Yeah.
that Skywalkers have done for the series.
Then yeah, calling them Skywalkers would not be a bad idea.
And, well, it's a weird name. And I think it's a weird name for multiple reasons. One, there's currently only one person, who's around that is part of the Skywalker blood.
Mm-hmm.
Or technically,
Mm-hmm.
if we're not counting Leia
Mm-hmm.
and whatever her fate's going to be in this movie. But it's Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, and so the interesting thing about the title is that this implies that this is that Skywalker's rise
Mm-hmm.
to power. Now, it could be like saying that like the villain is gonna like come out on top
Mm-hmm.
because that is what the others have been, basically, except for Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Like Revenge of the Sith, and then Empire Strikes Back. It's similar things where it's like this is the villain's rise.
Yeah.
Which could end the trilogy in an interesting way.
In a very interesting way.
I doubt it'll happen.
Yeah.
Which is why I've come up with this theory like that Skywalker is a title, not a name.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, Kylo Ren doesn't share this name.
Yeah.
He's the only person in the bloodline who could potentially rise up to this occasion. So it becomes interesting what they're going to do with Rey,
Yeah.
especially.
Well, okay. The fact that it's the rise of Skywalker makes me believe that either Rey is a Skywalker or is in the Skywalker bloodline. Alternatively, Rey marries into the Skywalker bloodline.
I do not like
I
that.
do not like that.
I don't like that one either, but
Like,
because it's called The Rise of Skywalker, and the main character is Rey. You see Ben, but he's there for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
Also, it could be they could be going the route of we are going to get yet another fake out on who our lead protagonist is, which they did in The Force Awakens.
Oh, yes.
Everyone was like, okay, we have our new protagonist, it's Finn.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were introduced to Rey, and then like it's about the middle of the movie where we realize Rey is our protagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the rest of the trailer.
Oh, yeah. So the TIE Fighter.
The TIE Fighter. I personally, and I am this is an unpopular opinion, I want to say. It's not unpopular amongst us, but I think it's Hux.
Yeah.
I've thought it's
Yeah.
Hux. I thought as soon as I saw it was Hux. Everyone else jumped immediately to Kylo Ren. For me, the color of just coloring of it.
Yeah,
makes me
I
think
think it's very likely that it sucks. Because what I've been saying since the end of The Last Jedi is that Hux will be the primary antagonist.
Hux. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't really have anyone else to go to if
Mhm.
we're not considering it Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Well, we might now.
We might now. We'll get to that.
Yeah. But I don't think Kylo Ren would be our antagonist, just because it has, like, thus far been Force Awakens was Kylo Ren, then Snoke was The Last
Mhm.
Jedi, and now we have... It would make sense that we were moving
Yeah.
on to a new one. Although that new one, if it's who they tease, I don't like it.
Oh, really?
I don't like it.
Okay, well,
personally.
you just want to jump into the laugh?
Do we want to talk about anything in between?
I do want to just something I want to throw out there. Like, that's not really a discussion point, but Kylo Ren's like little bit in the trailer where he just like attacked someone was fucking brutal,
That's
and I
amazing.
love it. That's all.
His helmet also looks really cool.
Yeah.
It is supposedly infused with Kyber.
Oh, really?
That's what the red in it is.
Ooh.
Apparently, that's what I've heard. Cannot confirm nor deny.
What do you have to state, non-Star Wars fan?
So I, growing up, did not grow up in a Star Wars household.
Fuck you.
and I came to college, and all y'all are obsessed with this, so I'm ready to watch it. But this
Might.
trailer makes me want to go see it.
Yeah.
Like, it looks kick-ass.
This is the thing, and this is the one thing I want to throw out before we get to the... Wow, take your time. Before we get to the laugh, no matter how bad this movie could possibly be, it is going to be absolutely jaw-droppingly beautiful. And the trailer has proved that to us. And there's not a lot of movies where I'm like, you know what, even if it sucks, it's okay.
Like, like watching this trailer gets me hyped for like just Star Wars in general.
Mhm.
Like, I'm already at a point where I'm like, all right, I need to go watch Clone Wars. I mean, I needed to watch Clone Wars for a while anyway, but like, I need to go back and watch Clone Wars. I gotta watch Rebels. I want to rewatch all the shit like that's gonna be important. So Solo and Rogue One and
Mhm.
all that type of fucking nonsense. Episode 7 and 8
Yeah,
when the movie theater isn't being bombed.
Yeah, it looks very beautiful. I think we see that with the Rey scene. We see it with Kylo, and there's one scene where they like find. I think what we see at the end of the trailer is the satellite
Yeah,
of the Death Star,
which is interesting.
which is also a really beautiful shot.
And it's really interesting to think which Death Star is this.
Yeah, that is
Because a lot of people are talking about, oh my gosh, they're back on Endor, but it doesn't look anything about like Endor. You're forgetting Yavin 4.
Mhm.
Yavin looks a lot more like where they are in this trailer.
Mhm.
And so I think that's really interesting to point out.
It's really interesting you point out Yavin 4 because Yavin 4 is like really important in the entire canon of Star Wars. Because of all of my knowledge of KOTOR, it's like pretty important. Like that's some like I'm pretty sure in SWOTOR, that's where Revan's just sort of fucking around. So like
Yeah,
Yavin 4,
And it
really important.
It would make sense to end where it started.
yeah.
Yeah.
And another part of the trailer that I thought was very interesting, that not a lot of people that I've seen are talking about
Mhm.
it, and it's like it was brushed under the rug, but it's like Lando's reveal.
Oh yeah.
Like that's huge.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is he is in the clothes that we see Lando in
Mhm.
Solo. There's a line in Solo that says, basically Lando says, "I'll get the Millennium Falcon back one day," and Han says something about when he's dead. And that was
Ooh.
brought to my attention, and it's really interesting
What a
now
good
that
foreshadowing.
he's piloting the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like that. Like that makes me appreciate Solo more.
Mhm.
I personally liked Solo.
Mhm.
I know that's an unpopular.
It's not to me.
I thought Solo was really good, and I thought that, like looking back now, and especially with that scene in place, that gives me more of appreciation
Mhm.
to what they are making.
Yeah.
But his reveal, I thought, was one of the biggest parts of the trailer. That's like, one, the trailer, like treated it like it was a throwaway.
Yeah.
And then like really all the reactions to the trailer that I've seen have also treated that as a
Yeah.
throwaway.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
So now, moving past it.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, the laugh.
The laugh. And this is the thing. So I was watching the live stream, right? And they bring out Ian McDermott. And I'm like, oh, hey, Ian McDermott, how you doing? And it just never crossed my mind. It's like, oh, yeah, Palpatine's here. That's totally normal. And then no one's ever really gone. Like, that was a moment I watched it live. I think I was the only one out
think
of all
so.
of us to catch it live.
Yeah.
I was in a class when it happened.
And my jaw went. It just, for those of you, because we don't have video, to the floor.
Like, it implies a few interesting things. One that I thought was super interesting
Mhm.
is Palpatine isn't in this movie. Which, why would they bring the actor out if he wasn't?
Oh, he is in this movie.
Yeah. But, like, to what extent?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
he alive?
I get what you mean now.
Like, so
Here-
I thought, because it could confirm the theory that they've had since the end of Force Awakens, that Rey is a Palpatine.
That's not the one I put into.
I don't buy into it either. But that could be a theory.
Palpatine doesn't have the ability to love.
Yeah. We could see a potential that he has a Force Ghost, even though that goes against everything we kind of know about how Force Ghosts work.
Yeah.
Um,
I think. I have a lot of thoughts.
or he could be alive, and he could be a potential like aid to our
Mhm.
protagonist.
Yeah. Ooh.
Could you fucking imagine if Rey goes to build her lightsaber and Palpatine's the one who helps her?
Well, you see, it's interesting because we see her like looking off at the satellite of the Death Star when that laugh happens.
Mhm.
Well, it like goes to black, then the laugh happens. But that leads to this interesting like idea that it looks like they're seeking him out. Why?
Okay. So my theory surrounding this is that Palpatine's Force Ghost is in a light term because I think we're going to get a rename of the Sith version of it. I think
Yeah.
we're going to see an entire new Force power. I think that Snoke was Palpatine.
Mhm.
What I think about it is, and I take it in the sense of Snoke is such a powerful Force being that the other Jedi in the galaxy, I mean, unless Snoke completely severed himself from the Force, which is possible, but still, over the time, the amount of buildup of Force energy there, you would think that a Jedi would have to have noticed it somewhere in the galaxy, felt the disruption. I think that Palpatine is somehow manifested himself into a ghost. There is the theory of he made clones of himself. That's Legends. That is a thing that actually happened in the Legends. I think what he manifests himself into other people, controls the body. I think because it's Sith and because it's hatred, it destroys the body at a rapid pace, which is why we see Snoke, I mean, basically missing chunks of his head. And I think that's how he's been able to
So
reintegrate himself into an Empire-esque type of position. And I think that's another reason why he hates Darth Vader so much. We see Snoke just subtly really shit on Darth Vader throughout this entire thing because Kylo Ren really seeks him out and is like...
and that leads to like the interesting question: what is it about Darth Vader that is drawing Kylo Ren? Because we don't know.
Mhm.
Like, does he not know that Darth Vader turned good at the end? Like, surely he has to know that. Like, but he still has this admiration for him.
See, but would Luke necessarily talk about how Darth Vader's the one who threw out Palpatine in the pit?
I think it's really important. Well, do you think Luke is the type of person who'd be like, yeah, I did that?
No, but I just...
Or going to a high extreme. Like, this is a completely out there theory that I just thought of. What if, like, that was planned? Like, what
Yeah.
if Darth Vader and the Emperor had that, like, moment where they're like, you're gonna turn on me, you're gonna throw me in the pit, and I'm gonna live. And Darth Vader was like, okay.
Because what's really interesting is Sidious, Palpatine, former master, Darth Plagueis, working on eternal life.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to get... It's going to blow our minds, whatever happens, whatever they've come up with, because they have several options. And the thing about it is, as I think about them, I'm not disappointed in any of them.
I could agree with that to a certain extent. I feel like there are a few options that they could go down a certain road that would be kind of...
The only thing I'd be disappointed with is if Palpatine somehow fathered Rey. Like, I'm not even talking about... if he did it through the Force, that's whatever, but if she is his physical daughter, to me that rejects everything we know about Sheev Palpatine as a person.
Well, also, that could be an interesting twist to it as well.
I didn't do a goddamn thing.
Well, okay, something to think about, right? We've already established Palpatine cannot feel love. That doesn't mean Palpatine cannot feel lust.
But also, what if he did feel love? Like, we do have that twist. And I think that'd be an interesting twist.
It'd be an interesting mirror to Anakin, like, he fell in love and, like, that's how Palpatine turned to the dark side. Sidious turning to the dark
Because
side, whatever.
I think the big thing that's gonna... You know nothing.
I know, but I have a theory that is based off of nothing.
Okay.
Oh my
I
god.
know nothing, but
This is gonna be
say
what's correct,
Palpatine. I'm assuming he. I know enough to know who Palpatine is. What if he just wanted an heir to his throne? You see that all the time in fiction.
Well, I
The
mean,
bad guy always needs an heir to his throne.
if he wanted an heir to his throne, like...
That's why he groomed Anakin.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
in your theory that he was like trying to he's manifesting himself in other bodies, then he had Kylo, so
Mhm.
there was no need for Rey at all.
Yeah.
Which, if he doesn't manifest
Mhm.
through bodies, and say Darth Vader did turn on him, it would give him a reason. I don't know. The thing I think that's interesting is it looks like they're seeking him out.
Yeah.
And I don't know why
Mhm.
they would be seeking him out, or who told them to seek
Or
him
what
out.
even in the Death Star necessarily.
Yeah.
We never got a body.
We never did get a body because it looked like it was incinerated. Or, I mean,
But if there's
blown.
a satellite left, there's nothing to say that there can't be something on that satellite or someone.
Or
It could be an
Hologram.
Infinity War-esque homage to Red Skull
yeah.
type
Well.
deal.
Yeah.
You need to
what
get through me to figure out how to finish this.
what would be on it?
Well, is it possible that there's a holocron of him on there?
Maybe.
Well, see, the
That'd
thing that's
be-
very interesting is that Snoke has Darth Vader's obsidian ring.
Yeah.
So there's been some kind of Snoke has some kind of leak. into
If
this.
Snoke has the ring,
They have Darth Vader's helmet.
Where's
and
Vader's
skull.
lightsaber?
We've never seen that.
that's interesting.
We've never seen what's happened to Vader's lightsaber, and we've never seen what happened to Sidious's lightsaber.
So that would be an interesting thing, because that it could be a fake out in the trailer, because regardless of
Mhm.
who's on the Star Wars team, it could be a Disney thing that they're telling him to fake this stuff. But what if that lightsaber that we see Rey have at the beginning?
We've seen Ahsoka purify crystals and Rebels.
Mhm. So what if,
I'm telling you, man.
or she just has a pure red lightsaber and that's a
Blue
fake.
and a red.
Mhm.
That would be interesting.
That's a Revan thing.
That is a Revan thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And as we know, in this universe at least, does Revan exist?
Revan himself is canon, but KOTOR is not.
Gotcha.
But a Revan is.
So,
Okay.
from my understanding, Bastila or the Twi'lek or all those
Whatever,
characters,
yeah.
not canon.
Okay.
Revan himself, yes.
Are we sure they're not canon? Because they are in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
I don't know. As far as I know, the only information that we have is that Revan himself is canon.
Okay.
So my understanding was KOTOR isn't, all those other characters are not, just only
Okay.
Revan.
Okay.
But, I mean, technically they never actually said it, so maybe I'm just dumb.
Also, just real quick to touch on other things we got from Star Wars Celebration. The name of the game is escaping me.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi
Fallen Order. Oh my god,
we
I'm ready.
We got what looked like a new Clone Wars trailer.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
if
don't
you've seen it.
know.
season 6.
And we got an accidental leak of possibly a new Lego Star Wars game that's come out in the last couple days.
Ooh.
I'm ready for that because I played the shit out of Lego Star Wars and I watched the shit out of Clone Wars.
For the record, just because Fallen Order, right? I've been waiting on Fallen Order for ever now, and seeing the first trailer for it, I mean, we didn't get to see any gameplay, so maybe I'm just hyping myself up for nothing. But god damn, is the idea cool?
Mm-hmm.
You're a Padawan during Order 66. You get out. What the fuck do you do? I don't know. I guess I'll just fucking hide amongst the people. Holy fuck!
The game looked so good, but what I could not get over in the entire trailer, and I told you about this, is the main character looks like the guy who plays Ian from Shameless.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He
Yeah.
looks exactly like him, and I'm like, huh, that's really interesting.
It's interesting because I looked at him and my first instinct, because he had the hood up, so I didn't see a lot of him. I only saw his face. Was, is that Starkiller?
Ooh.
I don't.
No,
it's not Star
it's
Killer,
not.
but that was like my first instinct was like Star Killer.
Yeah, we have
No.
this character
I
now,
love Star
and like
Killer.
we don't know exactly like what gameplay is going to look like. On
We don't
this
even.
Game.
We barely know who this guy is. We
Yeah,
got his. I think we
so-
have his name, and that's it.
We could get like a stealth like
I would.
Force game.
I really like the
I would
idea.
be interested.
I
in that.
love the idea of like this is a game where like you pretend to be a regular person, so like you get blasters and whatever, but then you can also just like take your fucking lightsaber out. But if you do that, people start noticing you.
Yeah.
Maybe like in the same vein as a game like Assassin's Creed, at least in terms of like the notoriety system, where like people will notice you more. But yeah, I'm really excited for Fallen Order. I really want to see some gameplay. I'm pretty sure we're going to get some of that at E3 this year.
Interesting.
So yeah, Fallen Order.
So yeah, Star Wars. It's been a big week.
It's been a big week.
It's yeah.
Expect more of these kind of mini casts as things explode.
As things explode,
in our lives.
probably more Pokemon whenever we get more of that shit.
Hopefully soon.
Pokemon, Marvel, possibly.
we're 9 days out, my
We're
guys.
9 days out from in-game at the time
now,
of recording
We'll be
this.
getting more Spider-Man stuff after Endgame, I bet.
Let me check. So yeah, we have one more podcast, which is technically two because we've got tomorrow, and then we also have next week on our regular scheduled time.
And I'm not sure if
and
this
then
minicast will go
that-
before or after the Avengers predictions.
I feel like minicast we can be a bit more lenient on when they come out.
Oh yeah, they just sort of just happen. They're just like, oh fuck, just throw it in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got like 2 more podcast episodes before Endgame comes out.
3, the 2 Avengers and
No.
we had 2 Avengers episodes and
Oh, are they not up yet?
no,
Okay.
because I suck.
Well, we'll
That's fine.
probably.
And because I have a lot of things I have to cut out of the second part of the Avengers clip that you guys will never hear.
Well, what we'll probably need to do in that case is upload them in bulk.
Yes.
Yep.
We can talk about.
Just upload them as soon as we're done.
Enough
But
of us talking about our upload schedule.
that's been the first
First mini cast.
mini cast.
From the undefined name of
we
people who
still gotta
talk
summon
into a
the
microphone.
magical stoners to help us.
Oh no! What's
Yeah, we don't have a name. Oh well.
We have names in the works.
But we don't even
have
have-
ideas.
We don't even have Bryson here to help us.
But we
'cause he's
don't.
grocery shopping.
have anything for sure.
Yeah. So this has been the first emergency cast.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Bye, I'm Brayton.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm really excited.